Good evening and welcome to the top of the 2 Express News. I'm Amritpal Singh. Let's take a look at what's making news in Express News. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addresses the plenary session at the 19th SCO Summit. Prime Minister Modi was the second speaker to address the plenary session. Prime Minister Modi shares a health mantra with the gathering, shares his vision for economic cooperation to further regional and global interests. Prime Minister says that countries sponsoring, aiding and funding terrorism must be held accountable. He also called for a global conference to combat the menace. Prime Minister also shared his vision for economic cooperation to further regional and global interests. Also spoke of efforts being made by SCO to ensure peace in Afghanistan. Prime Minister Modi highlights the steps needed to tackle climate change, underlines India's efforts in the renewable energy sector and India's commitment towards meeting preset goals regarding climate change. Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a pull-aside meeting with Belarus President Alexander Lukashenko on the margins of the SCO summit. The two countries share the common goals of development and cooperation in the region. State-run healthcare services continue to be severely affected in West Bengal for the fourth consecutive day today, with junior doctors continuing their strike in defiance of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee's ultimatum to join work. Resident doctors at the All India Institute of Medical Sciences are protesting over the violence against doctors in West Bengal. Resident Doctors Association of Safdarjung Hospital is holding protests, but emergency services are not affected. The Indian Medical Association declares All India Protest Day today against the incident and express solidarity with the striking doctors. Doctors meet Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Harshvardhan. The minister expresses concerns on the recently reported incidents of violence against doctors in Kolkata, strongly condemns the violence. Union Minister for Health and Family Welfare Dr. Harshvardhan says that he will take up this matter with Chief Minister so that such incidents can be avoided in the future. The Union Minister urged doctors to end their strike in the larger interest of society. Union Health Minister assures that he will take all possible measures to ensure a safe environment for them at hospitals across the country.
Well, let me put it this way.
Chief Minister Vijay Rupani declares closure of alert for Cyclone Vayu. Chief Minister also orders shifting of persons back to their homes. Schools and colleges will open from tomorrow. Union Health Minister Harshvardhan meets Health Minister of Bihar following reported rise in cases of acute encephalitis syndrome in Muzaffarpur in Bihar. The death toll rises to 54. Union Minister Prakash Javadekar addresses the CII Council meeting in New Delhi, says there is a requirement to ensure more transparency in the government procedures. He said that new experiments are being done under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi. The Director General of ITBP, S.S. Deswal, takes stock of the arrangements and the condition of foot track leading to the traditional route of the Kailash Mansarovar Yatra through Lipulikh Pass, appeals to citizens to keep Himalayas clean and contribute to make its ecosystem balanced. BJP will begin a membership drive from 6 July on the occasion of the birth anniversary of Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee. The campaign will focus on West Bengal, Kerala, Jammu and Kashmir, Puducherry, Tamil Nadu, Telangana and Andhra Pradesh and other parts of the country. The process of recovering all the bodies of the air warriors on board AN-32 is still on. Yesterday, 3 more mountaineers from civil were inducted into the rescue mission. Weather, rain and treacherous terrain continue to adversely affect the rescue. Minister for Housing and Urban Affairs Hardeep Singh Puri says that the government will achieve the target of housing for all by early 2020 instead of its earlier set target of 2022. 2019 marks the 20th anniversary of victory in Operation Vijay, popularly known as the Kargil War. The Kargil War is a saga of strong political, military and diplomatic actions. Wholesale price-based inflation drops to a 22-month low at 2.45% in May. This primarily owing to low food, fuel and power prices. Pre-budget consultation meetings continue. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman meets social sector experts and economists. Market regulator SEBI comes out with strict disclosure norms for creating credit rating agencies, wherein they will be required to provide the probability of default for various rated schemes. Sharp fall in late trading pulled the indices to the low of the day. At close, the Sensex was down 289.29 points at 39,450.07 points. Nifty was down by 90.7 points at 11,823.3. About 808 shares have advanced, 1,686 shares declined, and 144 shares remained unchanged. And the rupee traded lower at 69.73 per dollar versus the previous close of 69.51. Gold prices climbed in futures trade in the light of positive global trend. Silver also advanced on a hike in demand by industrial units and coin makers at spot markets. With a view to enhance outreach and benefit TV viewers of the country, the INB Ministry has advised all private satellite TV channels to consider displaying the castings, credits, titles of Hindi and regional languages TV serials in the respective languages also. In Jammu and Kashmir, 2 terrorists were killed and in a gunfight that raged between terrorists and security forces in the Bandlina area of Avantipura Tehsil in South Kashmir's Pulwama district this morning. Governor of Sikkim, Ganga Prasad, called on Union Donor Minister Dr. Jatendra Singh and congratulated him for being sworn in as Minister for the Northeast for the second consecutive term. It's World Blood Donor Day today. This aims at raising awareness about the need for regular blood donations to ensure the quality, safety and availability of blood and blood product for patients in need. To beat the heat in the national capital, several charitable organizations are providing drinks to pedestrians to help them quench their thirst during the journey. Indo-Tibetan Border Police performs yoga at an altitude of 18,000 feet in Ladakh ahead of the International Yoga Day on the 21st of June. Instead of paying for bail, Sub-Divisional Magistrate of Amroha, Mangeram Chauhan, has asked those who are under arrest to contribute towards nature by planting trees. To highlight Switzerland's poor record on defending the rights of women and families, hundreds of women and some men gathered at the bottom of the Swiss city of Lausagne's Cathedral Tower Bell. As the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall approaches, Johnson and Rivera are receiving belated measure of recognition in death that coincides with the growing awareness of transgender rights. Britain's 10 Downing Street was illuminated with green light last evening to pay tributes to the victims of the Grenfell Tower fire. Catering to the rising demand for plant-based alternatives to meat, US meat processor Tyson Foods launched its first vegetarian and mixed protein products, including a beef and pea burger. After 40,000 years, head of a dead wolf who died in Siberia has now been found, and because of the freezing conditions, it's so well preserved that its fur, teeth, brain and facial tissue are largely intact. Coinciding with the Pride Month, popular children's program My Little Pony has introduced a same-sex couple on the show. The series is based on Hasbro's line of toys and animated works. Facebook made its first investment in an India-based startup called Meesho, a platform that enables small and independent Indian entrepreneurs to start and establish online businesses via social channels. Social network giant Facebook will no longer allow comments praising or supporting the death, disease or harm of an individual, the tech company will block content against high publicity deaths as well. Instagram has released a creator account feature which makes it easier for content producers to control presence and understand growth. There is also an option mode designed for markets with slow network areas with reduced image loading time. Apple sets up an AI artificial intelligence enabled service called Alicia in Delhi's service center. It registers customers' complaints to process it further by staff and also alerts them if a customer is in queue for too long. This service center, named as Cafe Prasar, also offers users a co-working area. Tech giant Microsoft says it will launch AI digital labs in India to train 1.5 lakh students in collaboration with 10 higher educational institutions. Training programs for faculty will include workshops on cloud computing, data sciences, artificial intelligence and Internet of Things. Global Vice President of Marketing Insights Andrew Williamson says Huawei will invest heavily in those countries where it's welcome despite the United States' decision to bar Huawei from the next generation telecommunications networks in America. Study says spending at least 2 hours per week in nature is important for good health and greater well-being. It doesn't matter whether the nature dose is taken in one bout or broken up throughout the week. Nature's effect is cumulative. Scientists say that a smartphone-based app therapy can help anorexic people to restore their eating habits and regain normal body weight by adjusting food intake to feedback from a smartphone app. The method has been treated over 1,500 patients. WHO says fruit bats are the carriers of the deadly Nipah virus. The rare brain-damaging infection transmits through the partially eaten fruits by infected bats. A recent study suggests that smoking may increase the risk of developing hypertension, impairing body's blood pressure autocorrect system. Only 50 and less than 20% responses to glucose and dietary fats are genetic, revealing body digests food partially depending upon genes, thus suggesting everyone is unique in their food responses. Regular exercise reverse autistic behaviors, said a Tokyo-based tech research firm in a statement. Physical activity seemed to help prune detrimental connections between neurons and their brains and could lead to human therapies, contrary to earlier belief that autism spectrum disorder has no cure. A new analysis finds if temperatures reach 2 degrees centigrade and 4 degrees centigrade above pre-industrial levels, global warming may substantially increase violence around the globe. US President Donald Trump has announced that White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders will step down from her post at the end of the month. Sanders is the latest in a long line of his senior advisors to leave. Sarah Sanders called serving as press secretary of the White House an honor of a lifetime, just minutes after the president announces her departure. In Britain, the next round of voting to choose the next Prime Minister is due on June 18th. Candidates who are still in the race need at least 33 votes to proceed to the next round of balloting. In the first round, candidate Boris Johnson with 114 votes got the highest number of votes, while his nearest rival Jeremy Hunt got 143 votes. Environment Secretary Michael Gove got 37 votes. UK Home Secretary Sajid Javed has confirmed that he has signed an order following a request from the US government to extradite WikiLeaks co-founder Julian Assange to face charges of computer hacking before the American courts. Supporters of Julian Assange today protested against his extradition to the United States outside London's Westminster Magistrates Court. Former Maldivian President and currently Parliament Speaker Mohammad Nasheed is on a visit to Sri Lanka, which starts today. The delegation includes Vice President Faisal Naseem, cabinet members and MPs of Maldives Democratic Party. Bangladesh unveiled a growth-friendly budget focusing on infrastructure development. Introducing the budget proposal, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina set up a GDP growth rate of 8.2% for the current financial year. In Hong Kong, arguments over controversial extradition bill led to adjournment of lawmakers' first meeting since protests. The meeting was held to discuss the proposal of a scheduled government budget bill, but was adjourned after lawmakers from opposition camp protested against the extradition bill. Police kept a close watch over central Hong Kong as the Asian Financial Club returned to normalcy on Friday, with banks reopening branches closed during the violent protests against the proposed extradition bill with mainland China. In Hong Kong, 29-year-old Yo-Yo has committed to a hunger strike to fight the passing of the highly controversial extradition bill, which has invited opposition from residents of Hong Kong. China Foreign Ministry spokesman Geng Yuan today said that the US should give up the delusion of creating chaos in Hong Kong after US lawmakers proposed legislation that he would require the United States to justify the continuation of special treatment for the territory. A day after an attack on two oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman, Japanese Industry Minister Hiroshige Seiko has said that the attack will not affect Japanese energy supply, although the ministry issued a warning to Japanese energy companies after the incident. Taiwan State Oil Refiner CPC Corp's Vice President Chiu Shu said that the company is reviving the damage to one of its oil tankers in the Gulf of Oman, and that the incident will not impact Taiwan's domestic oil supply. Diminishing oil acquisitions, Iran's foreign minister termed US acquisitions as baseless. The US had accused Iran of being attacked. Iran also said that it was not trying to sabotage the diplomacy. The US military had released a video and claimed Iran's involvement in the attack. Yesterday's attack on oil tankers is the second in the month near the Strait of Hormuz, a major strategic waterway for the world oil supplies. Australian Brenton Tarrant, accused in New Zealand Christchurch attacks, today pleaded not guilty to 92 charges stemming from the message in two mosques in New Delhi, New Zealand city of Christchurch 3 months ago. At least 11 people were killed while 13 others sustained injuries in a suicide attack targeted at a police vehicle in Jalalabad in Afghanistan. The Afghan arm of the Islamic group has claimed responsibility for the attack, which was committed by an assailant on foot. Well, in China's Huiyuan city, a section of the road bridge plunged into a river in southern China, sending 2 vehicles into water and leaving 2 people missing. In today's match in the ICC Cricket World Cup, England won the toss and decided to field first. At the end of the first innings, West Indies have set a target of 213 runs for the English team to chase. Ian Morgan, the captain of England, recalled his first own experience of playing against Ireland for England. He said that this match is a moment where Archer would get a chance to reaffirm his decision of changing allegiance from West Indies to England. Injured Indian batsman Shikhar Dhawan has hit the gym as he races against time to recover from a hairline fracture that has put him out of the 3 World Cup matches. Former captain Sourav Ganguly has described John Wright as his favourite coach, who was more of a friend to him during New Zealand's stint with the Indian team. Under Wright, India has reached the finals of the 2003 World Cup. David Warner has overcome the challenges of reintegrating himself into the Australian team, and with the explosive opener nearing his best, he could well end up as top scorer in this World Cup, feels assistant coach Ricky Ponting. The ICC Men's Cricket World Cup is in its 18th match, and 4 matches have been abandoned due to rain, which has exasperated the cricket enthusiasts, or which some even went on to call it the world's worst cup. Ahead of India's semi-final match against Japan, we are the ongoing FIH series finals. Coach Graham Riyad said that the team has its place, tactics in place, and will prepare for the same way they do previously, playing their best to win. Indian men's team will take on Japan in the second semi-final of the FIH series finals tournament at the Bhubaneswar. The winner of this match qualifies for the Olympic qualifiers to be held in Hiroshima later this year. Brazil will be aiming for the 9th Copa America success when they begin their campaign against Bolivia in Group A encounter in Sao Paulo. Brazil have claimed victory for four previous governments occasion as a host in 1990, 1922, 1949 and 1989. Midfielder Casemiro believed that the hosts must triumph in Copa America and come what they may. He said that Neymar's absence changes nothing for Brazil. Neymar will miss the showpiece after injuring his ankle ligaments. Australia and Qatar have been invited to take part in the 2020 Copa America. Qatar and Japan are the guest teams at this year's Copa. Copa America usually features 12 teams, but CONMEBOL, South Asia American football body, has only 10 members, meaning there is often a pair for invitees to the tournament. In the FIFA Women's World Cup football, Australia fought back to beat Brazil 3-2 in the Group C play in Montpellier, France. After a shock loss to Italy in the opening game, it was incumbent upon the Aussies to win this game to keep alive their chances of progressing through the knockout stages. In a Group B encounter in FIFA Women's World Cup, China defeated debutant South Africa 1-0. Li Ying scored the only goal for China. This victory pushes China to equal points with Spain. Belgium has retained the top shot in the latest FIFA rankings. The European nations, league champions Portugal, were 2 points up to the 5th place in the rankings, while England remain at the 4th position. Juventus are ready to name Maurizio Sarri as their new coach after agreeing to a compensation deal with Chelsea. Italian media reported Sarri will be free to sign a 3-year contract deal, but with a contract with the Italian champions Juventus. The Toronto Raptors delivered Canada its first NBA title with a 114-110 victory over 2000 defending champions Golden State Warriors. It was the Raptors' fourth victory in 6 matches, helping them win the 7 matches final series. Celebrations have begun all over Canada. 5-time world champion Vishwanathan Anand's chances of top 3 finish ended as he went down fighting to Fabino Caruana of United States in Armageddon. A game at the Altibox Norway Chess. The Indians have slipped to the joint 7th position with 2 rounds to go. Lee Chong, where his retirement also ended his remarkable rivalry with China's Lin Dan. Reacting to this retirement, Lin said that he would now be alone on the court and there would be no one to accompany me. Saurav Kothari won the silver at the Pacific International Billiards Championship in Melbourne after losing to Peter Gilchrist of Singapore 1500-706 in the titles. Earlier he had won the gold in the snooker event at the same championship. Over 5,000 volunteers gathered to clean Philippines Manila Beach Bay, which was once known as Toilet Bowl. 45 tons of garbage has been removed and the beach is now unrecognizable. Mexican soap opera star Edith Gonzalez died on the age of 55. Gonzalez was battling with cancer and was under treatment. Oscar-winning actor Cuba Gooding Jr. has been charged with allegedly misbehaving with a woman at a bar in Manhattan. The actor has been released without bail and has refuted the allegations. The Quater Raat Bhar in San Francisco Dungan has left people enjoy a happy hours with rats. They can pet, snuggle and play with rescued rats. Bollywood actors John Abraham and Imran Hashmi will be seen in director Sanjay Gupta's latest multi-starrer gangster drama film Mumbai's Saga. And actress Pariniti Chopra, who was last seen in Kesari, will be soon seen essaying the life of ace shuttler Saina Nehwal in the next film. British girl band the Spice Girls brought a bang by performing Spice Up Your Life, one of the most famous hits at London's Wembley Stadium. The Queen of Cambridge, Kate Middleton, let go of her usual outfits and wore an off-the-shoulder white frock by Barbara Casasola to attend Action on Awareness Gala dinner in London. Veteran actor Kathy Bates has joined the cast upcoming drama movie The Ballad of Richard Jewell, which is a real-life story of a security guard, Richard Jewell. The film will also feature Oscar winner Sam Rockwell in the role of a defense attorney. And that's it we have for you in this edition of Express News. Thanks for watching. Namaskar.